Heidi Hamilton joining us now to talk about this and more. So the video first. What do you make of the video?
Well, I was watching the video, and it's so funny because I also looked at the article as I was watching the video. And, you know, he's in these clothes that are like, oh, it's a $7,000 shirt and these $12,000 pants. I'm going, he's rolling around in dirt and sand. What is he doing? Like, these are clothes you don't want to get messed up.
He's got the money.
Then you remind yourself, oh, yeah, that's not really an issue. I'm going to tell you, this GQ article was so, like, he was so vulnerable in it. Like, really, really sort of bared it all and admitted to some of his faults that, you know, because when they got divorced, when Angelina and Brad got divorced, she was saying it was because he had an alcohol problem.
Which he admitted to.
He admitted to in this article, and he was like, yeah, you know what? I've been pretty much boozing every single day since I was, you know, out of college.
Right.
And eventually it was like it got to be a problem, and he's been sober now for 6 months. A kind of a cute thing in the article, too, where, you know, the interviewer was asking him, like, how do you just give it up? He said, I didn't want to live that life anymore, because he noticed that cigarettes or marijuana or alcohol, all that was doing was sort of covering up. It was like a little pacifier on stuff that he didn't want to deal with because he wasn't good at dealing with his emotions, which he then says was sort of bleeding into dealing with his kids. Like, he wasn't really opening up and being a good dad because he was just kind of numbing everything. So been sober for 6 months, and he says that his new drink of choice is cranberry and fizzy water, and wanted all of you to know that he has the cleanest, healthiest urinary tract in Southern California.
Well, yeah, he's very raw in this interview, and it seems like there's a little bit of a confession to it, like saying, I did this and this, I want to be a better person, and even though you're rich and famous, you're only human.
Right, like he says that there was always that, like, not necessarily happy and numbing it with alcohol. And I think what's cool about Brad as well is that he said that a friend of his was talking to him and said, you're going to go to court, and what's going to happen in court is both people get hurt.
Yeah.
There's just somebody who's going to be hurt more. He said, so Brad said that he and Angelina are committed to being parents. They're co-parenting. They're partners, and have admitted to not talk about, you know, the settlement, not talk about the arrangements, anything like that, and agree to at least love each other because they have to take care of these kids. So no more throwing negative stuff. They both agreed to that, which I think is awesome. You know,
and he's also saying he's in therapy, which I thought was very revealing. Right.
Yeah. He said it took him a couple therapists to find the right one, and then has found it and found it to be really, really helpful. Because I think before his therapy was like, oh, I'll have a drink, which I think a lot of people do. Yeah. And now he doesn't have to do that anymore, and he can be more raw and free and a better dad, and he's still in it. Hollywood. I find this cool too. He's still in the same house that he got in 1994. He's been in there since 1994 in Hollywood, and he said he calls that the kids' home. Like, that's where, you know, all the memories are.
He helped raise them, so he feels good about it. Let's talk a little bit about Mariah Carey. Apparently, she's addicted to her phone.
Well, here's the problem.
Or the ex-boyfriend.
Brian Tanaka, the dancer who she was with. She divorced Nick Cannon. She gets with this backup dancer, Brian Tanaka, very handsome guy, like, is crazy about him. But now they broke up. But her friends and the people in her circle notice that she's trying to make calls. Listen, we've all had that friend. We've all probably been that person where your friend's like, give me your phone. You're not calling him. You're not doing that. And they have to take her phone away because she's like trying to circle back, because she wants to maybe get back into it, and her friend's like, that's not good for you. You need to stop.
I think she can find another means of communication.
Exactly. When you're Mariah Carey.
Email might work, an assistant.
Right.
That's why there are apps. I looked this up when I was looking at the story. There are apps. Like, there's an app called Kill Switch, where you can, if you even try to reach out to an ex and maybe make a call that you're going to regret later, maybe you've had a cocktail or something, it won't even let you.
But the ex thinks they're still in love, right? According to stories.
And that's giving him sort of hope, like, oh, well, hang on, maybe we can get back together, because he felt hard for her too, and apparently loved the lifestyle that comes along with being Mariah Carey's boyfriend. And now that goes away, and it's like, oh, dang it, I want to get back there. And she's sort of giving him enough to give him hope that maybe we could get back together.
Why don't their friends like him?
That I don't know. I think it's maybe, and obviously when you're in the inner circle, you see things like Mariah, you know.
He's a lot younger.
Yeah, he's, I think he's 31 or 32.
Does this mean Nick Cannon's out for good? Because there had been talk that maybe they were getting back together.
Well, there was talk because they had their twins' 6th birthday party at Disneyland. They shut Disneyland down, spent 5 figures for this birthday.
They seem to co-parent well.
They do, but see what people, when you like them together, and then you see that, and you see them with their babies, and they're being, you're like, ooh, maybe there's something there. So I don't know. Maybe once you have kids with somebody, there's always a chance for that, love is there, so who knows?
All right, Heidi, we thank you so much. You can hear Heidi every morning on Frosty, Heidi and Frank, weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m. on 95.5 KLOS Radio.
And you can see her weeknights at 6:30 and 11:30 on Dish Nation, right here on Fox 11. Thanks, Heidi.
Anytime.
Tell us more. Tell us more. We'll be right back.